Hi you guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. I'm really excited about today's video because today I wanted to film my in-depth sit down with you guys every day makeup routine. I just feel like I have really perfected my routine over the years. Of course, products kind of change up with the seasons and everything like that, but this is currently what I am absolutely loving right now. So I really wanted to share some of the products and techniques that I have just been loving recently. So without dragging on this intro too long, let's get into the video. I like to start with a really hydrated base, especially right now in the winter time. I find my skin just really needs it, and I notice such a big difference in the quality and the consistency of my makeup when I'm using a really good base skincare routine. So lately I've been loving the Rhode products, and these are the two that I'm currently using. I'm out of the peptide fluid, but I'll start with the glazing milk, and then I love this barrier butter. Depending on how much time I have, I like to do 15-20 minutes before I start my makeup, just so that I can really let these products soak into the skin and do what they need to do, hydrate everything. So yeah, I love these products, and that is what I feel like makes such a big difference. Definitely had to mention these. I'm obsessed with them. Okay, so I'm gonna start out with, this is my favorite base product right now. I just find it gives such a nice glow to the skin. This is the Say Beauty Glowy Super Gel. It's like a highlighter and a moisturizer in one, so it's just gonna give such a pretty base for your foundation. Okay, so now that my base is all hydrated, I like to start by doing the underpainting technique. And so I like to use a lot of cream products, especially in the winter time. I like to alternate between these two. I think right now I'm gonna use the Say Beauty one just because it's a little bit lighter. And as you can tell, I'm really pale right now. Basically, I just take my hourglass brush like this, and I'm just gonna start kind of contouring my face with this cream product. And something that I love about this technique is that you end up honestly using less foundation and less concealer. It just ends up looking a lot more natural because you've done this really bronzed glowy base. I'm also honestly gonna bring this down to my neck just because I am really pale right now. I'll also sometimes put it onto the palm of my hand before bringing it up onto my face, just so that I can take off some of the excess product so it's not super insanely harsh. I'm gonna take my current favorite foundation. This one is the Haus Labs Skin Tech Foundation, and I'm in shade 210 Light Medium Neutral. I like to kind of put it on the back of my hand, and then I'm gonna dot it onto my face. Because I started with such a hydrated base, this really is so much easier to blend into the skin. And I don't know if you can see, it just looks super glowy. I love this. So now I'm taking my absolute favorite concealer, Hourglass Vanish Concealer. And honestly, a little bit of this concealer goes a long way. That's another reason that I love it. So I like to just kind of lift the face with my concealer. And then same thing, I'm gonna use my beauty blender just because honestly, I love it. I'm just gonna use the same, which I'm almost out of, the same Say bronzer. I'm actually just taking now this double-sided brush, and I'm gonna take the thicker side for this, just to give it more of an airbrushed finish, instead of the denser brush that I was using before. So as you can see, that really just brings the life back into my face, which I feel like I really needed. Now I'm moving on to my cream blush, and I love the Rhode blushes. I think they're so easy to blend and they just look so pretty on the skin. So this one is in shade Piggy, and I just love how light pink it is. It's just really pretty for everyday use. And I'm just taking that right onto the product, and then same thing, I'm putting it onto sort of like the palm of my hand, just to make sure everything looks really natural and blended, and that way I can build it up instead of having to like take product away. I'm putting that on the sort of like the upper apples of my cheeks. Last cream product before I go ahead and set my face is this Chanel highlight stick, and I'm actually almost out of this, but this is in the shade, you guys ask me this all the time, and I think it's in the shade Sculpting, and it's just such a pretty highlight color. It honestly just gives you that like glow from within look. Like, it's not sparkly. Take this onto my finger and I tap this onto the high points of my face. Now for setting powder, I have always used the Laura Mercier powder and I love it. I'm almost out though, so I recently got the Pat McGrath, the Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection setting powder. And this, I feel like it's a little bit dark for me right now though. It's in light medium 2. So I'm gonna set the rest of my face with this and then set my under eyes with the Laura Mercier. I'm gonna let the powder kind of like sit and settle while I do my eyebrows. I'm using the Anastasia Brow Wiz. It's such a fine tip. I just feel like it really works for my face and like detailing out my eyebrows. I love this. I'm gonna fill in my eyebrows, and this is shade medium brown. Now for brow gel, I'm using this Glossier Boy Brow. This is the clear one and I've been loving it. I also love the Benefit brow gel. Okay, so now I'm going to kind of like dust away all of that loose powder that was on my face. I love this Tower 28, and I love this because it's white, or translucent, so it is really like brightening. I'm just like tapping that into the skin to set, and then also to kind of like dust away any of like that loose powder that was on my face. Okay, so now to bronze up the face even more, I'm going to be using this Charlotte Tilbury. I'm just taking a big brush for this, just sort of putting this all over the face. Next, I'm going in with my NARS bronzer over top of that, just because, like I said, it's winter, I'm so pale. I just want to feel nice and bronzed, so same thing, I'm just putting that all over the face, and honestly probably onto my neck too. Like, add some depth back to my lids. I'm just gonna take this same bronzer product and just sort of like sweep that onto the lid. And this is more so something that I do on like a daily basis. If I'm like going to dinner or going to an event or something, I'll obviously do like more of a substantial eyeshadow look. For now, I've always loved just doing on like a daily basis, adding some depth back into my eyes with a bronzer. I'm actually really excited because I just got in these YSL blushes and I kind of want to try that today. So this is shade 44 and then this is shade 42. I think I'm gonna actually mix them, honestly. This is what it looks like. That's so pretty. Wow, that's really pretty. This is the other one. It's definitely more of like a baby pink shade. So pretty. Before I do mascara, I'm gonna use this. It's actually not even an eyeliner, it's a eyebrow pencil, but it is like a little bit thicker and it's on an angle. So lately I've actually liked to use it as just like a very natural small wing on my outer corner. Today I'm gonna use the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Push Up Lashes. I like to start with a mascara that has a little bit of like a finer, smaller brush, and then I'll go in with this one. This is also Charlotte Tilbury. It's their newer one. It's Exaggerize, and this is the brush, so it's a little bit thicker, so I'll do that one next. Mascara is all done. I line my lips now with Charlotte Tilbury Iconic Nude, and I just had to sharpen it actually because I go through this one really fast. I'm going to go over that a little bit with MAC Whirl. Okay, and then recently I've been loving taking the same Rhode pocket blush in the shade Piggy, and I just tap this onto my finger and place it in the center of my lip, and I feel like this is such a really pretty base for gloss, and it just like brightens up the lip. And then finally I will take a lip gloss. So I like to use either the Charlotte Tilbury, I don't know what it's called, but it's like the plumping one, and I love this. And this one is the Pat McGrath Lust Gloss, and this is shade Dare to Bear. So I think I'll use honestly both. I'm just gonna put the Charlotte Tilbury one in the center just for some hydration, just like that. And then I'm taking the Pat McGrath one. This is also a little bit of like a lighter shade, so it's gonna give that really pretty like gradient lip that I kind of like. Doing a tiny bit more powder just under the eyes. I'm gonna use this Hourglass lighter shade powder, just more so on like the center of my face. So that is my everyday makeup routine. I have been doing this for a few months now. If you guys are interested, I can walk through sort of more of a nighttime glam makeup look as well. I definitely want to do more makeup videos like this on my channel where I can really sit down and like walk you guys through products that I'm loving, just because I feel like I don't really get to do that on my other channels. This was really fun for me to film, and if you liked it, please let me know, and I will see you guys in my next video.